Hello, hello. This section is going to focus more on, we had highs for both the leader and follower, but we only had medium and low for the leader. Keeping in mind, it was only a few examples of some things that you could do. I still want you to just take that golden rule, that idea, and play with it. Because anything that you are going to feel like you're making up, it would have been something I would have eventually taught you, or somebody would have taught you, or you would have seen in a step or something like that. So you would have found your way into it anyway. We're going to focus now on the followers, mediums and lows. Okay. This is going to fall into, for right now, just some of the examples that we're using right now, is just going to feel like roll-ins and roll-outs, or a continuous roll-in, things like that. Same thing, like I said, once we start with an idea, the golden rule is keep the rope at medium, turn left or right. Keep the rope at low, turn left or right. The golden rule is you only have those directions. Take it and play. Try different things and see what happens. Okay? There is nothing set in stone that, like, you can't just make this happen or that happen. It's just a matter of, can I really lead it, and will my follower know that that's what I'm asking for? As long as you guys are moving and dancing together, everything's a bonus, everything's a plus. There's nothing wrong, okay? So, I did a West Coast Swing showcase to the song, so it's always a lot of fun for me to just hear it. With the lead and follow for this part, I generally wait, but I wanted to make sure that you have some mediums and lows for the follower at this point. It just means that we have to talk about a few more details within the lead and the follow. As the leader, I have to now be able to give my follower two pieces of information simultaneously. And that's the reason why it just is a little bit harder to introduce a little earlier in the stage. But when in doubt, rewind, watch it again, or try it and just practice it a couple times between you and your follower and just see how it feels to you. And if you have any questions, you guys can contact me. But for right now, we're gonna be traveling in a straight line just back and forth across the room for right now. I have to be able to tell her the direction where I want her to travel, but also what direction I want her to physically rotate in now as well at the same time. Or it's really gonna feel like I go one and the other, like it happens kind of back to back that way, okay? So if I'm in frame, I'm in my home base, as the leader, for right now, I'm gonna switch to my right hand, so this way you can see a little bit better on the first go round. I'm gonna back out of the garage, I'm gonna get to my right hand, I'm gonna get to an open hold. And what I'm doing is I'm sort of backing up, and I'm kind of giving a visual path. I'm inviting her visually to walk right in front of me, because I turned my body a little bit away from her, okay? So the followers, we won't know that. She's not gonna know that. That's why I moved me as the leader. I'm no longer facing her, okay? She's going to run into me and then back away if I'm facing her, because I'm on her track, okay? So as the leader, all I did was I backed out of the garage, and I'm just getting out of her way. Now, what I'm gonna do, we're gonna do the ladies' mediums and the ladies' lows. For right now, I'm gonna start with medium, okay? So what I'm gonna do is first give a slight pull, a slight tug on this rope, right? So our arms are creating a nice rope, right? I'm gonna first bring her in my direction, and then I'm gonna send the hand, what seems like back and around her. But I'm gonna keep it comfortable, and I'm gonna keep it at her neck level. So I'm gonna bring her towards me, and then I'm going to bring the hand, what seems like sort of a candy cane, right? So we're gonna rewind, right? So leaders, the action that I have is like visualizing a candy cane. The long stem part, and then the hook is gonna go out back. So it's gonna go long hook, or some people call it a J hook lead, right? So it's just, I'm doing it slightly higher, right? I have two leads, two ways of doing this. So I'm gonna bring her toward me first. This is the long part of the candy cane, and then the hook goes out, and then I'm gonna let it relax and go to the farthest side of her so it can actually get to her shoulder, okay? The first examples that we're gonna do, we're gonna stay attached. So my hand, I'm gonna stay holding her hand. What that does is she wraps up into this arm, but now she's gonna run out of rope, and so she's gonna have to unravel and face me on the other side, okay? So I'm gonna do that from this angle now. So I'm gonna bring the hand toward me and then out and around, okay? But I'm gonna go out and all the way around her, okay? So I'm gonna go in towards me, out and around. Okay? These ones are gonna make her roll into the arm and then roll back out, okay? So I'm gonna do one more set, one from this side and one from this side. So we're just gonna pull a little bit. Let's give the longer side a little bit, all right? I bring her toward me and around, and then she unravels and back out the other side, okay? One more from this side, in and around, and she unravels, okay? What happens is, so followers, we end up, at this point for right now, at a medium, we end up rolling, kind of turning into our own arm, and then we run out of rope, okay? So you wanna be able to let that be comfortable. I don't wanna do it when it's too far away from me and assume, right? But I also don't wanna wait too late. If I feel like I'm really kind of, the arm is getting too close to my neck, it might be a little too late. So it's a nice happy medium of where it's just gonna feel like by the time your hand gets to your own shoulder, you're gonna start to actually unravel that turn if he still has the rope, has your arm, okay? So if you notice, we're here, she wraps up. Once I get to her shoulder, see how I'm touching her shoulder? Now, if she tries to move forward, because the first part was what direction do I want you to travel in? As she starts to move forward, what happens is there's tension on the rope now. She feels the tension, and then it goes and makes her unravel, okay? So it's finding that comfort for you. If you have rotators, rotator situations and stuff like that, you're gonna find your own comfort zone and maybe have a little more attention sooner because the shoulders, things like that. So know your own body, you know, no worries, right? So I can do that with either hand as the leader, right? So let's say I'm in my home base, right? And I can send her out and use my left hand and do the same thing. I'm gonna, like a candy cane or a J, right? I'm gonna have the long stem and then rotate and bring her around. She feels that there's a little tension on the rope, so that's gonna make her turn back in the opposite direction to face me on the other side, okay? Leaders. One, please, especially if you're gonna use it for a medium, please understand some people are actually really uncomfortable around their necks. So it's still sort of an illusion. I'm actually going to her shoulder, okay, for this. There are tricks and things that you can do. I can go from here and roll into her neck and do a trick or something that I want to do, you know, around this way, or drop her into a dip and just hold by the back of the neck. So there is some flashy things that you can do. This right here is not one of them. It's an illusion. When I bring my hands toward me and then out back, so this way she starts to rotate. Once I lead it and her body starts turning, see how she started turning? Once she starts turning, I'm using my hand, I'm kind of following her, and I lightly just place the hand on her shoulder. I'm not tightening or trying to make anything uncomfortable whatsoever. This is going to be the farthest side, so I have to allow, stay right there, I have to allow space. The arm has to comfortably go farther away from me so she can tuck her body right into that side and not feel like I'm clotheslining her or making it uncomfortable in any way. It's just once she starts to now continue in that direction, I have a little tension on the rope, and I also moved me a little bit, okay? So this way, like I said, I'm not trying to clothesline her or anything. I want her to look beautiful and playful and fun, and you know, I don't want her to have an unpleasurable experience and not want to dance with me another time, kind of thing, okay? So it doesn't matter which hand. I can lead with my right hand, I can lead it with my left hand. All I'm doing is I have to tell her where I want her body to travel, right? That was direction, and then rotation, okay? So we're here. I'm just gonna back out of the garage, boom, roll her into it, and roll her out of it, okay? Same thing, oops, sorry. Same thing when I'm in home base. I can back out of it. With my right hand now, same thing, I'm gonna roll her into it and roll her out of it. Okay? So that's medium. What I'm gonna do is give you the two other options at medium, and then it's gonna be the same thing at low. So once I've given her the direction, my option was I stayed attached, I held onto her hand, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm gonna roll her into it, but watch this. Once she rolls into it, I'm not gonna hold onto her hand anymore. I'm gonna let go, let her keep turning, and then ask for her hand on the other side. The way I did that is she felt just like a magnet, just like when the ladies had to do a low for the leaders. Here, when I turned as a leader, she actually stayed attached to me by keeping like a magnet, a little bit of inward energy into my side, all the way around, so I can actually pick up on the other side. I'm doing the exact same thing as the leader. When she was turning, I'm gonna center a little bit. When she's turning, I actually kept contact on the back of her shoulder blade, and then I lowered just a little bit so I can go under this arm. So this way now, she slides right into my hand. So I'm keeping a little magnetic pressure into her, and that's how she knows I want her hand. If she feels no pressure, that means there's no hand back there. Technically, she can style and do whatever she wants on the end, because it means, hey, I led you to a spin, and now you're free to go and do whatever you want, and I'll pick up later, you know? But, so the only way she knew to stay attached is I actually stayed attached as the leader, okay? So I'm gonna do it from this angle, right? So I roll her in, and now right here, boom, right here, she's going to keep turning. I'm gonna keep my hand where it is, slightly lowered on the other side, and then from here, there's a little bit of up pressure so that she knows that I'm looking for her arm now too, okay, into the hand, okay. So I can stay attached and have her roll out on the end, or I can have her keep going and invite her hand on the other side, okay. So the last option, so I can stay attached. For right now, like I'm just playing with 3 options, that's it. So I can stay attached, she rolls in, and then she rolls out. I can let her roll in, she keeps going, and I can get her hand, so we can keep dancing with everything else, right? Or I can let her roll in, and then I'm just going to let her stay in my frame. So it's gonna go to body, okay? So we're gonna go nice and slow. She rolls in, but watch this, right here, my hand gets to her shoulder, but it's on the top side. I have to slightly lower to go under, so her arm can actually go over mine so that we can stay in frame. Okay? So, we have staying attached, she rolls in, and then she rolls out because you didn't let go of the hand, okay? We have letting the hand go, but touching, staying in contact so we can get the hand on the other side. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I can go from here and let her keep going so I can just get her hand, or I can let her roll up into my arm and invite her into my dance frame again, and we can go back to home base and stay closer, okay? So all of those apply to low. So that was ladies medium, 3 options. This is low, so I'm not gonna repeat all of the explanations for how to make it happen. I'm just gonna repeat the different opportunities that you have to lead that we went over with the medium, because everything else is actually the same. So we're here, we're in home base, we break out, I'm gonna open up, back out of the garage, right? The only thing I'm gonna do is keep the hand low now, right? So followers, your free arm is gonna go over the rope, okay?
And don't land it pinned by your side.
So actually I'm gonna have her keep that arm down for a second. I want you to see what happens. So if we go like this, what happens is now that arm gets stuck in there.